right there. So we've got 39, 37, 50 is right about where ES opened. XLF has got a little red. Apple is in the throes. Spot Gamma is expecting downside today, or at least in the upcoming days, because just historically, when we start facing the headwinds, and then after the big rally for Vixpiration, we start coming off. Things start dropping. So, yeah, that's the name of the game for today. We'll be seeing how that responds. We've got 39, 34 right now. Everything is about a mixed bag. We got green, we got red. Apple's red barely. Microsoft is barely red. Amazon is green and bottom wicking. And then right now the financial sector just flipped green from red, and the bonds mainly are up greatly. The big thing here is the Nord, the gas stream coming from Russia. Putin has now said that after a couple of days ago he said no problem, it's going to turn back on. Now he said that they're going to turn that thing off. So that is not good for the already dire situation in energy. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of craziness going on with energy as that news rolls out. I wouldn't be surprised to see prices start to go way back up. So we'll see. Apple's turned over red. Tesla's green. XLF is green. Amazon is green coming up here as well. Yeah, that's what he's been doing since January. Just kind of, dangling the carrot for the world because he likes the control, and that's what he's been doing. It's all nonsense. He's KGB. So we open just at R1. Right now we're between R1 and S1, which is great. That's where I like to open. VIX is still not moving, 2463 in the day of Vixpiration. So today is Vixpiration, the day of my daughter's wedding. So we got to see how VIX is going to move. Yesterday was the big draw up from the Vixpiration, all those VIX options rolling off. And obviously we threw up 130 points from the prior day's lows on virtually no volume. So 39.33 here on ES. A lot of green, a lot of red mixed in. Not too much going on. Obviously the YOLO Netflix play is not working out. In fact, Netflix is not going to pay anybody. It's not going to pay anybody. Wow, big red candles. It's not going to pay anybody. The calls inputs would have got destroyed today. No one. If you see anyone posting any kind of wins on Netflix, they're completely incorrect, except for, obviously, unless you're writing premium on Netflix. But any long positions would have gotten completely destroyed on Netflix because they are pretty much basically flat right now. IV would have absolutely destroyed them, which would have been great for your iron condors. Nice, Chris. Yeah, that open and flat's perfect. Perfect for our Netflix. All right, so more of the same. This is the same kind of open we've been seeing the past couple of days. Just chopping around, a lot of green, a lot of red, right at open. You managed to close Netflix 100 put for today. You managed to do that, or yesterday? Yesterday I could see it. Today I don't see how that's possible. It'll say like a 0 on the bid and like 5 cents on the ask, or 1 cent on the ask, or something like that. So, okay. Yeah, yesterday I could see it because IV was still increasing. People were still buying them. As long as they're demanded by the contract, you'll get a little increase, definitely. But today, no way. All right, I got YouTube up and ready. I don't have, there we go. Looking at the book map here, we have a lot of liquidity posted lower down to 3,900, which is the double zero level. So once again, be careful basing all your judgment on that double O level because that is a 0-0 level. Other than that, we've got 39.50, 39.79, which is roughly pre-market highs. We went all the way up to 39.65, way on up there in pre-market before selling back off. Tesla's green, Amazon's green, Apple's green, XLF is green. But there's not really any big movers so far except for Tesla. They're up 1.75%. What's Nvidia doing? I don't have them on my watch list anymore. Let's see, Nvidia. Nvidia sold back off in pre-market, but they're buying it back up. They got a green candle out of the gate here to buy it all back up. What's up, YouTube? How you doing? How do you know where to find on IBKR how many day trades are left? Go look in your profile, in your account. I wrote 155 puts on Meta this past Friday, looking good to keep my money this week. Nice, nice, Sean. Well, they got earnings coming up, so you never know what can happen on earnings. Flat, yeah, everything's flat. This is the same open we've been having 3-4 days now, so very, very, very flat open. We'll see how the morning breaks after the first couple of chop candles, but this looks identical to the past couple of days. We chopped for a couple hours on Monday and then sold off 100 points or 90 points. Yesterday we chopped for a couple hours and then rallied over 100 points. So what happens today? Do we just chop the entire day, or do we go up or down? Like I said, Spot Gamma is looking for a reversal of some of yesterday's gains. We are dead flat right now. We're only up 50 cents on ES. So well, they still lost over 1 million customers. Yes, it did. It's better than expected, but they still lost 1 million customers. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Netflix downtrend the next couple of days. Sure, it's not going to pay off puts, at least the ones we bought yesterday, but still. I'm not going to make a trade on it, but still. XLF is coming up green. Amazon is kind of hanging out the top of their daily high, as is everything else. Once again, a flat open. So I'm going to bring up SPX contracts. I'm going to bring up July 20th contracts, which is today. And let's look in the ballpark of, oh man, I don't know, 39.45s to the upside, and then 39.30s to the downside. They're starting to wipe a little bit of liquidity down lower. I'm going to look at NASDAQ. Their main liquidity is also lower at 12.237, but they've got a little bit up above they need to negotiate here. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's been the past couple of days. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that about Pelosi. You got 39.38 right here. What to do with Netflix? Should I sell? What do you have? What position do you have? I mean, I would say yes, because no long position swung overnight is going to be profitable on Netflix at the moment. So I would say probably yes, but July 22, I would say yes. With the IV the way it was, which is why I didn't take a trade, the way the IV was, you would have to get at least a 15% move on Netflix just to break even. It is crazy if you're taking outside the money positions. Nice, Will. Can you use Bookmap in the daily time frame? You could zoom out. You could zoom out the scale. Yeah. You just have to adjust your settings. Did Netflix give bad forward-looking guidance? I honestly didn't listen to their conference call. The price didn't move at all, so I would expect it probably wasn't much. So, yeah, the guy that threw on that 394, he made 1,000% on that return. So he turned 700K into 7 million. So he's doing pretty good. But anyone who's YOLOing 700 grand, I hope has much more in their account than 700. So. All right, now we're coming up to the top side here, 39.43. And everything is just straight up again, still the same old game. But I am less enthusiastic that this will hold as yesterday. So we will see. We will see. Yeah, no kidding. You still just talk to him, you know him? Yeah. Should you buy high OI options? It depends. It depends. Obviously, yesterday, I mean, taking that Netflix put was obviously a lotto. So there was a crap ton of OI, but it was a very cheap option. It depends. If it's an in-demand option but is realistically priced, then you definitely want to follow the flow of the market. You think 39.50 gets transacted before we move down? That's possible. That's possible. 39.50 is roughly the pre-market chop area before we kind of drop back down here early in the morning. And that's pretty much where the Bookmap's got most of the liquidity at 39.50. I need to bring up the hero. Hey, today is our call with Spot Gamut, so I will have Brent on. I will do a voice stream here in the Discord to talk, and y'all can ask him questions about specific to Spot Gamut and the Hero. I'll get you the exact time. But yeah, he'll be on. So far we have 4 candles, 3 of them. The last 3 are green. The first one was red. Amazon is buying back up. It's same name. This is the exact same action we've seen every day for a couple of weeks now. Just a little bit of red and then green, green, green. But we'll see how much follow through we get today. When I think of more long dated puts, I am, but not today. I am thinking to entering positions in after earnings. I'm not looking to really take many swing positions until after earnings, because earnings is going to be like, it doesn't matter if you're bullish or bearish. Earnings it's the single point of failure. It's the last link in the chain here. So that link can be bullish, that link can be bearish. It all depends. So I'm not going to be as foolish enough to think we could do technical analysis and front run the data. Who made 7 million? The guy that took that 700K play that was at 394 calls, extremely outside the money SPY calls, and paid off 1,000%. No. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. He just took it. I mean, unless he's an insider, but I don't know. I don't know who he is. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Amazon's got 120, largest level, very much largest level. We got 125 above that. The biggest level overall is still 100. I'm talking nearly 600,000 at 100. And that thing's been growing for a couple of weeks now. We've been tracking this 100 level on Amazon for a couple of weeks, and at first it was 300,000, and then 4, and every week it's just going up and up, and now it's almost 600,000. And that's just at the one level. If you zoom in, you're going to see a lot more. But yeah, we're talking over 1 million at 100 once you spread it all out. So we'll see if that eventually transacts. I don't know. Amazon earnings is next week. All the tech earnings are next week. Today is Tesla. This afternoon, after the market closes, is Tesla. They're the first one of the bigger stocks, the bigger S&P stocks, and then we'll find out about tomorrow. Heap up. Don't talk about what openly. Does anyone remember the documentary story? Yeah, they posted a link of it up above. A great watch. I highly recommend it. Especially as doing what we're doing here, trading. It's a very interesting watch to see how some jabroni in his parents' attic or his parents upstairs can crash the global economy or the global market for a couple of minutes. 6%. All right, so we came up to just under R1 or R2 and then rejected. We have got ES up here at 39.50. Didn't quite get there. We got up to 39.44 and then reversed to the downside. So Apple is not quite as bullish as Amazon. Amazon is still eating up ground. They had a 5% day yesterday. They had like a 3% day before that, or 2 days before that, and now they got 1.36. So Amazon's still just going up and up and up, which is very unusual. Well, not unusual. It's very telling activity going into earnings. I still think this is all the big pump before we drop after earnings. The buy the rumor, sell the news type event. There's a lot of bullishness on Twitter, though. People come out of the woodworks when things start getting green. Will the FOMC bring the market down, expect an increase? I don't know. I think there is potential to run up into the FOMC because they are expecting 75. They've said adamantly that they're not going to hike a full point. Even in what happened last week, even in all the talk, they said they're not going to hike a full point. So I think FOMC is not going to be a downside catalyst. Now we just still have a lot of time before now and then. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trading sessions until that data. So not to mention a lot of earnings reports coming out between now and then. FOMC is, let's take a look at 26th and 27th. So on Wednesday is going to be the actual event. And I'm looking at the Federal Reserve calendar at the moment, which is right there. Yeah, but they hiked 75 last time. So, I mean, it's 75 is a lot. But, yeah, I'm trying to think about in terms of the market. Right now, we've had a lot of upwards tailwind is a good way to put it in terms of what's the way Spot Gamma puts it, because it's not a rally because there's no volume. Yesterday was obviously very green, but we've kind of just, bumped up a little bit to our current 39.40. Consistently, we've entered the mid 3900s and rejected back down to come back up. So until we get a huge influx of volume, I don't see it. In fact, I saw some conversations in the server last night about people think the bottom is in and this is risk on, and it's like this is not risk on because you're not going to see risk on. And think about the word risk on. What happens? You're going to see an influx of buyers starting to buy the market because it's risk on. And until the inherent risk is no longer to the downside, you're not going to see that. And until you see an influx of institutional buying, which is a huge hammer candle and then volume on the daily, you're not going to have that. What you're going to see on risk on, and let's come out to the yearly. When you start to see risk on activity, you're going to see a huge influx of buying like you saw in March, way back here. See this huge uptick in volume? That's how you're going to indicate reversals. Look at this candle right here. The candle on February 24th, for example, huge influx of buying. Huge influx of buying here, huge influx of buying here. But all this, I mean, this is all like lower end garbage volume. So, and that's not how you get risk on. You just got to wait for the institutional to start stepping in. So far, pretty flat open. Nastiness. VIX is still in the mid 24s. Most liquidity now is centered at 39.50. Good revive order for 25 Boeing 737 is nice. I don't have a video on setting up the trading view charts. I'll be happy to do one, or at least go through a summary of it. But right now, the hero is not saying much. We've got, in fact, actually, they just changed since I last looked. Let's take a look here. So we have a cross-up of the deltas there. Actually, negative deltas are climbing, but not really that much activity. More put buying, yes. Bookmap. So what I'm saying there is you take a look at 39.50. Now, the 39.40, 39.50 levels were the levels we were tracking yesterday. If you remember, there was that 10 wide level, which is at 39.40, 39.50. It was there all week. We transacted 40. We never actually got to 50 during the trading session. We did get there and went past there in pre-market, but that is different from market trading because that level is still there. The market orders are still there because they haven't been transacted. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously now we did reject the top right there at 39.44. XLF came all the way back down. Amazon's trying to. Apple's dead flat. Spot Gamma nailed it yesterday. Bookmap nailed it yesterday. Let's see if Spot Gamma is right again today. Aside from the 39.50 level, the liquidity is lower, all the way down to 38.75. How far out do I prefer my expirations? When I'm doing scalping and day trading, I'll do zeros, sometimes ones. If I'm doing any kind of event play, I'll go longer, like 3 weeks to a month out. You still think J Powell will come out with 100 point? Well, if they do, then, and like I said, one, that would be a surprise, which the markets don't like surprises, and two, that would be pretty tightening for the economy. So you would see a pretty big decline in the equities that day. I would probably take a 50 or 60 point outside the money SPX put if that were the case and get my 1,000%er. Thoughts on what Tesla does for earnings? I have no idea. I would expect a miss just because of everything that's going on with China. That's a big market for them. Not to mention they've had a lot of overhead expenditures, but I don't know. We'll see. Tesla's going to be a little bit different from the other tech stocks. We're not dealing with data and advertising and consumer products. We're dealing with EVs, and that's a different market. So I'm not well versed in the EV market. So we'll see. That's why I don't trade Tesla all that much outside of the crazy option exchange rallies we've been having. Tesla good. Not to mention, of course, they've got the lawsuit. Right now, the negative deltas are overcoming, so it's indicating put buying, which is what happened yesterday. So 9 a.m. in 9 minutes, we have existing home sales. Let's see what happens. I agree, Thomas. I agree. October, which would be right after the next earnings. Yeah, real estate's coming on back down, which you'll see that in home buying sales. XLRE. XLK is straight up. Amazon, once again, is squeezing. Amazon can't get enough, man. Amazon took some pre-workout about a week and a half ago, and they're still on it. Straight up. They're up almost another 2% today. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they are now $120 a share. They're no longer $2,200 a share. So I think that or $4,200, $3,000. I think that's one of the reasons why they're doing all this, because everyone's getting their crummy little hands on Amazon, and they're just straight up, and they are pumping going into earnings. Potentially, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see it at all. I mean, they're putting up 2% days like it's normal. So it's obscene at this point. All of tech is holding the market up. Apple, first it's been Amazon. Apple has been since the entire month of June. They've just been straight up, and then Amazon has lately come on where it's like 2%, 5%, 3%, 4%. They're pumping. No plays for me though. This is pretty choppy. You said yesterday we observed put buying on the hero, even when it trended up. Well, when we have a strong upwards day, we want to see one of two things. Either the institutions and other people are starting to buy into this rally, buy calls, expecting continuous upside, or the opposite. People are just using this opportunity to buy cheap puts from an institutional level because of a drop. Yesterday we saw, and lately we've been seeing, positioning into puts. People are using this opportunity to buy cheap puts. We're seeing it. We saw it yesterday, and we're seeing it again this morning. Which has been the name of the game every single rally since January. That's what we've been seeing. That's why I don't believe the bottom is in. That's why I think everyone on Twitter right now is full of it, because that's what we've been seeing since January. Until we see institutional flows into the option chain on the call side, until we see positive delta start to spike, until we see volume come into the market, then I don't think a bottom is in. I don't think that we're really going to be looking at very much upside. Until I'm proven wrong. If I'm proven wrong, then we'll have just as much fun playing the rally that's going to come as the downside. But I'm just kind of looking at what I'm seeing here. Exactly, Matt. Exactly. Yeah, institutional traders look long term. That's why they're positioning into mid to late August puts. I prefer outside the money. If I need to get in quicker, I'd like it. If it all boils down to it, if I need to get in the position quickly, I don't care. I'll just enter at outside the money, at the money, doesn't matter. I just need to get in. Usually I'm a little more prepared than that, and I'll trade 5 to 10 to 20 points outside the money, depending on what we're looking at. Yeah, if the yields are going up, then I expect NASDAQ to start to roll over a little bit, and they are doing just that. The 2 years 3.2%, the 10 years is 2.9, the 30 years are inverted too, 3.14. So when you open a put call option, oh man, big red here. 39.33. That's a rejection of 39.41, 42. When you open a put call option, hold on a second. I keep seeing this downfill red candle I want to be catching. I'm going to look up 39. Let's see, 39.35s. I'm going to look at 39.25s on SPX. See if we can get some downward pressure here. Usually, do you open all the positions played at once, or say 10? When I enter, I usually enter it all at once, and then I'll exit out of the position in lots. The only time I'll usually open multiple positions and one contract is if we're on a huge trend that's outside the money. If it's at the money or in the money, I won't add. I'll just open a new contract that's outside the money and let it climb into it. But yeah. No, Brandon, I actually haven't taken a trade yet. I'm letting this thing shake out. Amazon's got a large red. Apple's kind of coming over. Tesla sold off all their gains and is now red for their trading session. So that was, they were up 1.75%. Now they are down to 734. They just sold off 20 points. Muy interesante. So let's see what happens. Tesla's rounding over. If Apple or Amazon can round over just like Tesla, we might have a little downside, maybe down to at least the low of pre-market lows or something like that, 39.23. We'll see. SPX or options? Yeah, options. They could go to 4,000, which is why I'm not taking any swing positions. Like, we're going up into earnings, which is next week. They very well could rally this thing to 4,000 until we head on back down. So we'll see. Amazon's got a double red, Apple's green, Tesla's red, XLF is red. What Microsoft doing here? I'm monitoring Tesla today a lot because they do have earnings tonight, and I want to see what their volatility is going to be doing. We got 39.32 here. We came off all the way from pre-market or from the session highs, and now we are drilling on back down. Look at that little downfill to 39.31. Oof. Nice little candle there. We ate up through 39.30 and falling, and we're about to, I think we just put in a session low. About to take out the lows of the day here. Nice candle. So if Amazon can come on back down, that was a big reversal on Tesla as we are falling. I am scalping the 39.25s, seeing if we can come on back down under. We just put in a new low of the day, which is muy interesante. Muy interesante. Can't take a bias, that's right. So we've got 39.30. This candle's starting to look a little egregious. Egregious. XLF dropping. Tesla is starting to hold. Amazon is red. Apple is red. 39.28. And bam, look at that blast candle. Boom. Yeah, volume's a little light, sure. But we got 39.28 here. That was a nice drill candle to take out the lows of the day. So we had a nice pop at the open. Just closed out the 39.25 puts. As a scalp. I'm going to see how this thing goes here, and I'm actually positioned down to 39.20s just because of that volume. We got the price action. We have a little bit of follow through, and we have some volatility, but the volume is still light. But 1 minute, we've got the housing data. That's the thing. That's why I'm closing out that position mainly. We have housing data in 1 minute, and I don't want a news event to blast my puts. Good idea. Let's see what the hero indicator says. Overwhelmingly, the put flows are higher than the call flows. So, or the flow for puts, the flow for negative is overcoming the positive for sure. Let's watch what happens. Keep an eye on real estate. They are tanking. XLRE. XLF came all the way back down. XLV. Ooh, XLV is getting destroyed. UNH had a huge reversal from yesterday's upside along with JNJ. JNJ's been getting beat down. So a lot of red starting to creep in. Very interesting. VIX still ain't moving. Same thing as yesterday. The VIX didn't move at all. And with VIX expiration today, that probably is going to be the case today. Today is Vixpiration. There's a green candle. All right, so I came in down 5.12, forecast 5.3, previous was 5.2, so we're still dropping. In fact, we dropped, what, 300,000 home sales, which is just going to show you that the inflated interest rates are starting to have an effect on the housing market and the MBSs. I'll be sharing the 2 daily notes spot I put out. I'm not going to share those just because that's a paid item, and I want to respect their service. But you got the XLRE. You could trade the XLRE. You got a lot of different real estate-based funds you can trade. Plus, you have REITs you can trade. Yeah, I've got, in fact, 2 houses down the street that one of them put their house up for sale about 4 months ago, still for sale. And another one put their house up for sale last week, still for sale. And usually, the past couple of houses we've had on our street went for sale were gone within 24 hours. And now, no one's buying houses. So, I know everyone's like, the housing market's not going to crash, but it may very well stall. And if a plane stalls at 30,000 feet, then you need to dump the nose to gain airspeed and get some airflow out of those wings, or otherwise you're going down. All right, they just flipped that green candle red and a little down-a-roni. XLF, Amazon, Apple still green. Once again, Apple is leading the way here. I haven't taken additional play. Apple is still going back up. Amazon is still green. This is the play I took earlier. The $13 was the entry. The $15 was the exit. They divided up into 3 exits, but it was one exit. I just exited all at once. We got 39, 29, 75. We are bouncing off pretty much the lows of the day, which is S1, and we're bounding between about R1 and a little higher than R1 and then S1. All right, so that was an uptick in sell volume there. An uptick in sell volume. We have got a bottom wick red candle here. Do I pyramid it into day trades? No. I only take, when I enter a trade, I take them at once. And then when I exit, usually I will leg out of a trade, scale out. All right, so we still have pressure here. Watch out. XLF is still dropping. Tesla is still dropping. Apple and Amazon are trying to. We'll see where we go. Does the fact that we are kissing the 50-day simple moving average mean anything? It did mean something last summer. Except it meant the opposite. Last year, in fact, in July, every time we touched the 50 simple moving average, we bought and we made money. We made a killing. Now we're using it as resistance. So. Nice, Damien. Bottom wick green on this candle. We have a little green on Amazon, a little green on Tesla, a little green on XLF. And there's a little bit of a bounce. I don't know if I entirely trust it, but we'll see what we can do. Ooh, VIX is dropping pretty aggressively there. That was a nice little rotation down of VIX down to 24.17. We have green candles across the board. Amazon's quite green. XLF is turning green. Let's see what can happen. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had one good trend down day in a while. We had a trend afternoon 2 days ago, but we haven't had a good trend down day in a while. keep an eye on Apple and Amazon. Those are the two big dogs, and Microsoft, of course. Let's see how they are going to handle going into the housing data. One, Microsoft can't get any steam there. Apple, neither them or Amazon. So keep an eye on them. Bookmap now, all liquidity is lower. In fact, 39.20 is their main liquidity level. They've got a little bit 39.50, but that's still that 000 that we had from yesterday that never was transacted during the day. And they just completely wicked that green candle. No bueno. Sell volume is still overcoming everything. For now, yeah. For now, today is quick. Ooh, smashed the new low of the day right there. Not good. Not good. Booyah. Look at that smoke show right there. Took it down. So energy's dropping. What else we got? C is dropping, communications, XLF, everything, XLE, XLK is now rolling over. An absolute smoke show. Wow. Very nice rejection of that 39.43 level. Apple's still not moving. Apple's still dead flat. It's a very large range, Trader J, but you're probably right. For me, all eyes are on Apple for me today. If Apple, they're going to use Apple. That just like they've been doing the past couple weeks, they're going to use Apple to pin us. So I'm looking at 39.30 calls to the upside, 39.20 puts to the downside here. So we'll see what happens. $39.28 right there. That was a good bottom hammer candle for the buyers. Let's see what we can do. 39.30. Potentially. I mean, my thesis for credit spreads still maintains. This is a risky environment to trade spreads. So it's one of those things where you could pet the snake 4 or 5 times and it's not going to bite you, but that thing then is going to leap up and inject you with a little bit of venom, and down you go. So yesterday, if you played call credit spread, you'd have got destroyed. And Monday is even more dangerous than yesterday, because yesterday was pretty bullish, pretty early. Monday was dangerous because it was choppy. People got settled and comfortable. They started putting on credit spreads. In fact, I was moments away from looking at a put credit spread, and then about 11:30 or so, the market rolled and tanked 90 points. That's the dangerous day. That's the day that people don't see coming, and you get destroyed. They blow out put credit spreads. So, and all it takes is one of those types of days to smoke you. So for me, that's the environment we're in right now. That's why I stopped trading credit spreads back in late spring. Plus, if you remember, people were complaining in the server that I was trading so many credit spreads that they asked me has this turned into a credit spread server, because I was focusing on it. And then when all the attention I was putting on credit spreads, then I was spending so much time having to manage the credit spreads because we are at such a high IV environment. Credit spreads were getting tested every day. So I was like, man, I'm going to put the credit spreads on the back burner, focus on what I do the best, which is this. Amazon came right up back to a new high. XLF is green. Apple's green. Tesla green. Nvidia, big green. It looks like they passed the bill, or probably looking at it. New question here. Does this mean you're going long 1x put? 1? No. I mean, look how many exits I had. So no, that's just one lot. I'm already out, by the way. That's the entry and the exit for those asking. Big green on ES here. What do you suggest would one work on to dreaded chest training to make it different? Market awareness. That's the big thing. And we talked that about last year. I still, that is the most important thing you can do for yourself and for your trading system, is to start looking at the entire market. I'm very proud. I think one of the best things that if I had to analyze my own value for you all, I think one of the best things I could provide for you is the watch list. People do not utilize a watch list properly. They put on whatever some jabroni on Twitter says to put on there. They're looking at all WSB stocks, and a watch list is not there so you can watch a stock. I mean, it's not there just so you could highlight whatever it is you want to look at. The intention for me for a watch list is to monitor the market. Like the watch list in itself is a tool, and it's a custom tool. You could build it however you see fit. And I use it to put on as many aspects of the market as I can to monitor everything. It's a litmus test where at any given point I could look at my watch list and say, all right, all the sectors are red, all the sectors are green. Here's tech, here's healthcare, here's the real estate, here's communications, here's the futures, here's global, everything. So that would be the big thing. Would it be better to play one SPX contract? I would prefer you play 10 SPY as opposed to one SPX. Just because you can manage the position better. One SPX, it's make or break. It's either all or nothing. I would rather you play 10 SPY. Yes, MZ. Yeah, they shot down the bill yesterday, but it looks like it's coming back up today. An advanced tutorial, an advanced tactic, which we're talking more and more about it in the tier 2 on the Zoom calls, is learn to manage your trades instead of just plainly close them. One of the reasons why a lot of you and a lot of the retail and the beginner investors fail and they can have consistent losses, because for them, they take a trade, it goes red 8%, they freak out, they close it, and they take a loss. They give no time for the trade to marinate and to set up and to go in their direction. And I think that's I think it's a combination of either arrogance or being naive. Because you can't expect you to enter a trade and it immediately goes green and stays green. It's not going to happen, nor is it realistic. And if you close every time a position goes red, you're going to take so many losses, you're never going to be profitable. And allowing yourself 10 contracts of SPY helps you manage that trade. If you are wrong, then you could start reducing your exposure a little at a time. If you're right and things keep going crazy, you can start to take profits off, pay for the trade, secure profits, and then let the others run. But if you're in one SPX, then you're not going to be able to do that. What's the date on them, Neo? I think 3,900 is the overarching target, but that's a big level for us. That's a big level for us. Right now they got 3,940, they got 3,950. Amazon is straight up 2.2%. Apple's not moving at all. Crazy, crazy movements here. Man, look at Amazon. Wow. Yeah, so we got decreasing volume. We got a inverse hammer there. XLF is red. Tesla's coming back up here. It really, like I said, it all defaults on Apple. They're going to use Apple to pin the S&P. Right now, Apple is dead flat. It's not moving at all. Amazon is freaking, it's like trying to discover water on Mars right now. It's just going. It's just going. Yeah, healthcare straight down. Big old reverse eroni right there. So far, today is a day not to hold positions. You better scalp in and out of it. Today's a day to get in, get out. Red candles. NVIDIA bookmap, please. Let's take a look. I thought I had it up here. I guess I don't. Upside on NVIDIA. All upside. Yeah, yeah. Nobody made money on Netflix except for the premium riders. I have 60K cash in my 401k. Would it be good? What would be a good long-term investment, or should I just let it sit? How old are you? Okay. Well, it depends on the opportunity, I should say. It depends on the opportunity. You definitely don't want to take on too much risk at that point in life. Like you're not at the point where you want to start. It also depends on a lot of other aspects. What are your personal finances like? What is your income needs like? What is your current debt situation like? All that kind of stuff. There's a lot of different scenarios that will alter the answer to that question. Right now, you want to look at a slow growth, low risk, small rate of return. That's what you want to look for, obviously, depending on the current situation here. So you could either, there's a whole bunch of different reasons. If you've got a couple years, the housing market, when that starts coming back down, there's real estate, obviously. You've got a couple of funds you could generate. Yeah, obviously, this is not financial advice. There's trading, but that's very risky. Trading is going to be on the very risky end of that totem pole. I'm very cautious to kind of give my advice, not advice, but my opinion there, because I don't. There's a whole bunch of different situations that would alter my answer. Do I recommend taking out a low interest loan for a big purchase or paying all cash? Once again, it depends. It depends. How much? What's the loan for? What's the purchase for? What is your current makeup of your consumer debt? What's your income? Like, there's a whole bunch of there's not a good answer to that. Your risk, the amount of risk you take on, is directly proportionate to the amount of income, your income ratio, your income to debt ratio. If you have a lot of income and no debt, you could take more risk. If you have high debt, lower income, you can't take that much risk. If you're later on in life, you shouldn't be taking that much risk unless you've got a crap ton of supplemental income. So it all depends. Yeah, I saw that, but like I said, if any of y'all sent me any kind of lawyer, I would, you know what I would do with it. If we can't be adults here, then come on, If you make I'll tell you this, if you make any financial decision based on what I tell you, then you're the problem. So I don't care. Even when I have a qualified professional telling me what to do, I'm still getting 2 and 3 opinions. I'm not going to do anything based on what any one person tells me to do. So I hope you all would do the same. How much do you utilize chart patterns? I don't really do very many patterns at all. I do trend analysis, which sometimes does include wedges and channels and such, but outside of that, I don't. Like the Head and Shoulders and cup and tea and an English breakfast. Like I don't do any of that. Sideways cucumber. I don't do any of that. So yeah, VIX still coming off here, 24. The old sideways cucumber. Amazon is going for a 3% day. Holy smokes. Man, we should have just been taking calls on Amazon and kick back. Nice, TK. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. Especially, I would probably wait until the end of 2022 if I were to do something like that. If that were me, if someone were to give me 65 grand and say invest this in the market, I would let it sit in cash until about December, and then I would buy up everything and forget about it. That's probably what I would do. All right, so Amazon is screaming, still going. VIX drop below 24. Look at that. And then ES coming back up to 39.43. Definitely. We got 45 on spot or Bookmap, and we got 39.50. Yeah, I think that may be it. Bought a new book. Got a book in the mail yesterday. I'm very excited about it. Probably going to be one of my favorite books. Posted it down to the food channel. Man, this thing is straight green. Look at I just can't get over Amazon. Their chart is a thing of beauty. Straight up. I bought a home at the end of 20. I've been piling cash for a while now, so I can hopefully pounce on another house in a year or so. Nice, J-Con. Well done. It's the way to do it. Real estate is one of those things that it's a slow rolling cog, but the more houses you buy, the more cogs you add to the chain, and you start getting the mechanical advantage. The more houses you have, the more mechanical advantage you have, the faster those cogs go. So you have like 5 or 6 homes, you could start snowballing the first house, and then you snowball the second house, and you snowball the third house, and you pay them all off. And then you buy a 6th house, and you pay that off in a year. You buy a 7th house, you pay it off in 6 months. You buy an 8th house, you pay it off in 3 months. You buy a 9th house, you pay it off in 2 houses. And then you buy the 10th house with cash flow it. You buy the 11th house, cash flow it. And then you start buying a house every 6 months. And then you start buying a house every 3 months. Then you start buying a house every month. I know a guy who buys a house every month. He's incredibly wealthy, but he does it. So that's how you do it. And that process takes about 15 to 20 years if you're aggressive. But the whole problem, the first 5 homes is the big one. The first 5 homes is the big one to get by. Once you get through 5 homes, you can start cash flowing. What does it mean to snowball a house? All right, let's just say, to make it easy, you have one home and you charge, let's say, whatever the price is, the mortgage is, let's say the rent is $2,000 and the mortgage is $1,500 on it. So you rent it out for $2,000. You have $500 in cash left. So with that $500 in cash, you can either use that for yourself, or you can put it back into the home. Man, this thing is straight going. So right back up. We just put a new high of the day. Drives me nuts when I scalp something and it goes on and flies. Hold on a second. I'm sitting there talking. I'm watching the market freaking rage. 39.50s. Wow, look at this. Amazon is up almost 3%. Look at this. Netflix is up 3.4. And we're having another silly day, it looks like, right here. 39.55 got put on. God, look at that. That would have been a 100% win. I scalped the call at the bottom for a lousy 10%, and it would have been 100% right now. Yeah. Yeah, so you got a $2,000 rent, $1,500 mortgage. You take that $500, and you can either pocket it or put it back into the mortgage. So what I would do is put it back in the mortgage. I would never even touch that money. I would just completely roll it in the mortgage. Now you can either buy a new home, cash flow a new home, whichever it is. You save the money, you buy a second home. Now you've got $1,000 of net income with $3,000 because $4,000 worth of mortgage or worth of rent, and then $3,000 worth of mortgage payments, $1,500 a piece. And you do it again. You cash flow it. And you do it again and again and again. And the extra income you pile into the first. So the $500 profit you have each mortgage, you pile it into the first one. Man, look at this, 39.48. $30-point bounce. 39.50. So we're about to absorb 39.50. We absorb 39.50. We'll probably go back to pre-market highs, which is about 39.75. 39.65, I'm sorry. It could, yeah. But we'll see. I trade E-Trade and IBKR, both of which I don't worry about fees. I barely even look at them. Do I find it unethical to buy more houses than you need with homelessness? I do not. If is rolling as you described for real estate the same as taking out an equity line of credit? Nope. No, I mean doing an equity line of credit is a different way to do it, but you very well could do that. There's there's different ways you could take money out of the home. You could do the cash out refinance. You could do an equity. You could do a HELOC. So 39.50 still hasn't been transacted yet. It's trying to. They're right under 39.50 and 39.53 and 39.60. Hero indicator now is showing a larger flow into the negative than positive. But overall, not that much movement. $39.40, $39.50. So I'm going to take a look at the Amazon daily chart here. What do we got? Freaking ridiculousness is what we got. They went from 101 to 122. It's a 20-point move. It's 25%. Wow. Nearly. There's no top wicks on Amazon candles. It's straight up. They're absolutely beast mode. They're loving this new amount of liquidity with the lower share price. Which put you take, Neo? $390. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, I think there, I mean, yeah. $391, $722 put. All right, so we got 39.54, which is continuing. We just ate up 39.50 on Bookmap. They've got 39.60 is being put on, so that looks like maybe a likely target. Amazon is still squeezing. Now Apple's coming along here too. XLF is squeezing. This is just silly. The VIX is coming off hard here, so you are going to face that uphill stream. You're going to be swimming upstream with your calls. This is the thing where the VIX is finally moving now. Now we're dropping considerably. The VIX is now mid 23s after topping out in the mid 25s. But now we're going. It looks like they're going to squeeze us. Amazon is straight up. Open out of the gate, they're up $3-4 on their share price. Apple's coming along now. I'm looking at 39.60 calls. I think we're going to touch 39.60 with this momentum. We already ate up 39.50. We're through 39.52. Yeah, y'all be careful playing puts right here, man. We had yesterday, and now obviously things rotated about 20 minutes ago, and it's straight up. Things are straight up. This is actually volume. Buying volume is coming in here. This is decent volume. Look at Amazon. Look at this. Straight up. That's Amazon right there. Look at that. Absolutely straight up. Oh, that wasn't Amazon. That was Microsoft. Let me get Amazon. This is Amazon. That was Amazon. They are now at 122.37. ES is 39.55. And just going. All right, scalping 39.60s. Yeah, we're in the money at 394. You tell me that guy didn't know something? That 700K order? This is ridiculous. This is another day of just take a trade and hold on. We have just completely gapped up since 39.24. The stupid call I just closed out would have been 220% right now. The scalp call I took for 10%. Ridiculous. Yep, we might be going there. Who knows? This was an incredibly strong rally. I mean, we bounced off of the low of the day. Buyers volume came in and then blasted to 39. Was it 39.58? We've got 39.60 liquidity. They're putting on 65. They're putting on 70. I've got a little bit even at their 79, and they've removed all the liquidity at lower. In fact, they had a 3,900. That's gone. They removed everything at 3,900. They removed a lot at 39.05, and they still have a little bit here in the lower 3,900 area. And it looks like they're just kind of pounding this thing, man. Now Apple, look, Apple's gapping up. Apple's going very strong at the moment with tech. Amazon's up 3.5%. Yeah, look at apples. Straight up. I'm just riding this thing, man. I just entered the 3960s. But that's the problem, Vampire, is that if you don't get in at the bottom, obviously you have that feeling where the second I enter, it's going to reverse. Like when do I not? But look at the buying volume. Look at this. If this candle closes green, then we still have continuation from the buyers. I'm going to show you all this. Look at this candle. Right there. And it's still, as long as this candle closes green, I'm looking for continuation upwards here. Still going. We're squeezing. That's ES. This is just silly. 3960 calls up 54% right now on one candle, 1.5 candles. This is just silly. If this thing goes in the money, it'll start rotating big time. XLF is gapping up, Apple's gapping up, Amazon's gapping up. Wow. Anybody got unusual whales? Got the flow coming in? What do they got the call flow at? We got an uptick in. Nice. Flows really are not that telling at the moment. More puts than calls for sure. Wow. Don't fight the trend. Don't look at puts. This is just calls. When you have this type of flow, ride the trend. Just like yesterday, ride the trend. Those are 3-minute candles. Nice, Sol. One more candle and I'll be up 100% on these things. Because it'll go in the money. But we're bouncing up again. Look, they just put on more liquidity at 62. This thing came out quick there. 392 puts, sweep. 395 calls. We got that. Bam. Yeah, I'll do that. Top wick on Amazon, top wick on Apple. Look at taking profits here. XLF is still holding. We got that liquidity on Bookmap there at 39.61 that we need to look at, because that one, they had a lot of 39.60. We absorbed it and then went to 61.62, and they're putting on up to 70. So it's 57. Watching Amazon here, watching Apple. They're the two that led the way along with XLF. So everything rotated upwards, and we went to the stratosphere. Watching the down wicks here. They just put on 39.50, took it off. They put it on, took it off. So I caught the bottom few candles on a scalp, and I caught the top few candles here. We'll see if we come on higher there. I definitely missed the meat and potatoes of that call. And rejecting 39.60, they took off 39.50. Looks like that bill looks good in for Nvidia. Well done, Pelosi. Well done. 176, almost 177. She's making a ton of money. And that is the highest we've been since June 10th. June 10th, we are on the way down. We are at this level. And before that, we are in the consolidation level in mid-May. So we'll see how we act here. Big red candle there. Come all the way back down to 39.55. Yep, still in them. VIX is now just plummeting down to 23.66, and that's the move we were looking at to see the upwind, the tail upwind there with the VIX finally coming off, and it's actually doing it. It's the most move we've seen. Now, if the VIX continues to drop, I'm taking calls on the VIX, late dated calls on the VIX. But I need to see 21, 22, that'd be great, and I'll look at that. Apple 3 red in a row, XLF red, Amazon's red. But we'll see how we handle this this little profit taking. Watch the volume. Watch the volume. I just answered that. Nice, Steven. Well done. I do. Yeah. I'm still very much bearish on the long term. On the long term. I know everyone gets all bullish and excited when these things kind of continue to happen, but I'm still bearish in the long term. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Nothing's been fixed. So until I see the tides shift, then we'll talk about changing my long-term thesis. But is there any time when I scalp shares instead or deep in the money? No. I used to do that stuff. I used to be primarily a stock trader, and then I'm with some options, and then I slowly shifted like 50-50, and then that needle continued to move towards options as I became more and more confident and refined my system better. There's advantages to both. With stocks, you're able to play much larger position size. You're able to yield a lot of money very quickly, just like options. And there's less. Obviously, there's no theta risk. So. Yeah, you'll have to remember, this next week will really change everything or solidify stuff. It'll solidify stuff. Earnings will come in and blast us, or earnings will come in and tank us. So it really all depends. Honestly, my long-term thesis doesn't matter at all based on what's coming up here the next week. We have earnings, we have tech, and I don't want to encourage anyone to form a bias, whether upside or downside. I want you all to come in to all the earnings and to FOMC with a completely clean slate, a neutral mind. So that's what I want. I want you all to just come in with an open mind and figure out, based on what the data starts flowing in, what's going to happen, and then go from there. I know everybody wants to be right, but that's not the point of why we're here. So watching bookmap here, we still have 39.62. They keep removing. They put on and remove 39.50. We're coming up to 62 and maybe even 67. Yeah, I'm still in the calls. Nice, Damien. Killing it. I love it. Next level above here. Hey, where'd my R5 go? R5 is not showing up. R5 is a big one. Although if we got to R5, that would be an incredibly bullish day. That's a big one. Pre-market highs would be the next level, 39.64. So that's something we need to pay attention to as well. Keep an eye on that. Those are the short-term dynamic levels that do tend to give us some little nuance or nuisance. So we've already obviously taken out the daily high. The next on deck would be pre-market high, and then above that, I mean, historical price action puts us back to middle of June. So from there, we need to look at basically the volume here on Bookmap. Yeah, I would definitely look at scaling out as we get closer and closer to pre-market highs, which is only 4 points above. So I'll probably take my first scale at 39.64. It's volume. Now, there's no one candle, plain tofu. There's no one candle that I can look at and say, oh, this is just profit taking, or this is a reversal. It's a series of candles. That's why that's why it's beneficial to have multiple contracts so you can manage the position. Because it very well, I don't want to it's a balance between waiting long enough to get confirmation and then waiting too long and losing all your profits if it is a reversal. So for that one, we had one red candle. I don't want to close a strong call position on one red candle. So look, we just went to new high of the day. I'm at 61% on these. So I don't want to see it. Hold on a second. We're coming up on pre-market. I'm going to take contracts here. $12.40. Can't get a fill. Let's go $12.20. All right. I took a couple of contracts at $12.20 right before we get to $39.64. And we're going even higher. Now it's $12.80. Holy crap. Now it's 13. If we take out pre-market highs, we may squeeze to 39.75. Keep watching. Wowzeroni. I've had 2 days in a row of 100% win. Can I have another day? Can I have 3 days in a row of 100%? Holy crap, this thing's still going. I can't believe it. I'm holding calls and I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. Bookmap did kind of help this. I didn't expect this type of momentum, you know. But hey, that's the nature of the beast, man. I'm actually glad to see some movement instead of just chop. 81%. Oh man. Yeah, don't do that, Soul. Don't do that. Yeah, at this point, lurking, I don't know how far this is going to go. We're through pre-market highs. We're through all the short-term levels. We're through all the big stuff on resistance. The next thing is R5. R5 is 397.22. And I need to make sure that posted in the market analysis because that's not on. Yeah, so why didn't it show up in my charts? That's weird. Yeah, 397.22. Oh, that's why, because it's 387.22. Because it's way the heck on down there. Jabroni. There you go. Now it's on there. %84% on these calls. Man, this is crazy. Yeah, we all did forget what trend days were like this. But this is real volume. Volume has come in here. This is not like some slow volume stuff. This is low volume. And the VIX is moving, so everything is correlating to bullish action here. Nice, W Dog. Crazy, crazy good stuff. Zero, Goji. Zero DTE. I mean, I saw squeezes like this all the time in 2020. It's been a hot minute since I've seen these in 22. But this right here, this was 2020 in a nutshell. This crap right here was 2020. If you didn't trade much in 2020, this is what it was. grind ups like this. And it'd be up and up and up, and then every couple of days we'd have a crazy 1% squeeze up day where it just greened up. You took 3-week dated calls, man, you could clear 200% weekly on just that one call, 300% weekly. It was ridiculous. We used to have a month in a row of nothing but green. Green, 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 green. 30 days in a row. I'm up 99%. I'm taking calls at 100% just to do it. There we go, 100%. 3 days in a row of 100%. Wow. This is just silly. I just got to fill it $15.20 for 104%. Are you kidding me with this? This is ridiculous. And it's still going. And I missed 80% of that move, and I still got 104%. That's what's ridiculous. The stupid call that I closed for 10% is now would have been 500%. I'm such a jabroni. That makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah, I've got a couple of runners left. I've closed out most of the position. I've got runners. And we're going to go. What's Spindrift doing? That dude held a 5,000% a couple days ago. I agree, Ann Hughes. Now, I am still going to be the devil's advocate here. I still want you to be devil's advocate. I want you all to still have a clear head going into next week, because this is egregious. 2 days we've now up 140 points in 2 days. Man, this thing is still freaking going. Look at this. So I've got runners going here. $39.71. Watch for $39.75. A whale has entered the casino. $3.95 calls. Whew, almost $1 million. I'm about to put on 39.90s. Like I'm gonna join W Dog. Go 39.90s. Holy crap. Those are in the money, aren't they? Didn't they 395s? No, 398s. Okay, he did 398s. Nice W Dog. Holy crap. So we are now up 50 points from the low of the day. Talk about it. That was a stop loss candle and a half. That candle at 10:06 was a stop loss candle if I've ever seen one. Wow. I got 1740 on these premiums. I'm about to close the rest out here. And I'm just at this point I'll add, I don't know. We'll see. I sure as crap didn't expect this, but hey. 20x in 2 days? Are you kidding me? Wow. Coming up on 4,000. 1670 on these calls. I'm going to close these. I'd like to get 1750 for these runners, which I had up there, but I didn't take it. Amazon, again, a new high of the day. XLF, new high of the day. Apple did, but they top wicked. Wow. That's a very impressive move. That's the strongest move. That's real volume, too. That's the strongest move I've seen probably since the last big rally we've had in May or March. That was decent volume on a huge move. 30 minutes it took us, not even 30 minutes, an hour took us to get from 25 to 75. Yeah, now it is BJ. Yesterday was not. I was looking at the volume yesterday. There was no volume yesterday, so today volume stepped in. That's what I'm looking to see on a move like this. The straight gap up candles under volume. This is a bull reversal right there. My thesis was an LRS. Write it from R3 to R4. At what point do you change your thesis? Great question. When I see a move, all right, so let's say, like I told myself I was exiting at pre-market high. Let's take that because that was my thesis. I was exiting at least some at pre-market high. We blew right through it. Like I did, so I didn't. Right when we got to pre-market, I was watching price action with my finger on the trigger. I was getting ready to close out some positions, and we blew right through it and kept on going. So cool. I'm going to ride it. I'm going to ride it. When you have a thesis and it blows through your thesis, just ride it till it bucks you. And then when you start to see a little check up, close it. And then leave runners. Man, if I would do some decent position sizing, it would be it would be silly. Oh man, dang it. All right, get 1770 on these contracts, $18. And come on now. No, I'm not doing that. What I think I'm going to do is go ahead and close at 18 and I'll reposition higher. I'll go for 3890s, 3900s. For me, honestly, trading a bull market and a bear market is the same once volume steps in. The problem is volume. I have no problem trading a bear market or a bull market. I just need volume. The chop and that's why June was so, like the last half of June, the first half of July was so difficult to trade because it was low volume. It was chop. It was rejection city. But once I get volume, bam. Yeah. All right. I want $18. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, there's $18. Holy crap, I can't believe it. There's $18.50. God, look at that. All right, I'm going to take 19. It's still going. I mean, come on. I'm just going to hold it. This is just silly. 1930. Wow. 21, let's see. 2180 is 200% for me. This is just obscene. Oh, man. Couldn't get there. How much for 1,000%? Yeah, it needs to be in the 70s. My fill was 740, which was right. the candle off of just the candle after the one we bounced off the 8. So I've only been in this trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, the past 5 candles, 6 candles. Oh man, come on. Don't reverse me now. They put on a, holy moly, look at that, 39.75. That is a colossal level, 39.75, 22. $39.68 coming off. So they just smoked about $4 off my premiums right there. That's okay. I'm still up big on them. That's a big red candles across the board, people. I already closed at 15.20. I think I might close again because we're coming up on my 100% mark. Just, I mean, the whole thing dropped. All of it. XLF, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, all rotated and dropped. That's okay. These are runners. Right there. See? Right there. All of it rotated downwards. Oh, that's a whale, obviously. Do the notional value on that. So you could see that that's a whale. That's Moby Dick right there. Oh crap. All right, so it is. We're gonna bring on Spot Gamma here. We're gonna bring on Brent from Spot Gamma to talk about what's going on. I'm seeing him get things rolling here. He's gonna come on and discuss what he has to offer there and what Spot Gamma can, how much value Spot Gamma can bring you. So bear with me for a sec. Yeah. Just bear with me a second here. Hey, Brent, what's going on? I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining us. And everyone, this is Brent with Spot Gamma, and he's decided to come on and talk a little bit about the new hero indicator and a lot of stuff and a lot of features that that spot gamma has to offer and what value we could bring and make you a a little more insight into the market. So I appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'm sorry for being a few minutes late here. I guess I'm a bit of a boomer still when it comes to statistics, but at least I feel like it.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Yeah, it's been a crazy morning, man. We're just watching this market rally 50 points and try to take advantage of it. So it's been silly.
I'm scratching my head a little bit on this one, mainly because every day we look at obviously big support and resistance lines as well as volatility estimates, and so in this range of 3950 up to 4000, there should be some resistance coming in from the options flow, and that's also 300 in the Qs is another big level where there's a lot of options flow, and I think that would create kind of a pinning. And then the second thing we've been talking about is the fact that we were looking for a rally around the VIX day yesterday, VIX expiration day yesterday. So the last day you can actually trade the VIX index options futures that expire this morning at 9 o'clock. The last day you could trade all that is yesterday, Tuesday. And so we did a video about this on YouTube, but basically showed that for a couple theories I have, we get big rallies on that VIX expiration Tuesday. And obviously yesterday was, I think, caught a lot of people off guard of the magnitude of that rally. And so that was a big rally day. But then as we move to the Fed, implied volatility in the options headwind, right, should
Right.
change because you believe that as implied volatility comes down, just use the VIX as that barometer. If you believe that as VIX comes down, that means that equities go up, and I can get into that dynamic if it's helpful. But if you believe that as VIX goes down, equities go up, well, if we have the Fed next week, then the VIX should stabilize, right? You don't want to short volatility into the FOMC because you don't know what policy changes there could be.
Sure.
So now we passed VIX expiration day, and we're as we approach the Fed FOMC day, options, put options should get bid a little bit, right? And that relieves some of that options flow that helps the market go up. Hopefully I'm able to sort of distill that for everybody in a way that makes sense. So when you kind of look at today's action, it's a little bit of the magnitude is a little bit interesting, especially when you just see it launch all of a sudden at like what was it 10:15 basically. It's like somebody fell asleep on their buy button, right? And we've gone up what is that,
Yeah.
10 handles in about 45 minutes. That's a big move up.
Yeah.
This type of move, I generally think is tied at some type of liquidation or type of quick rotation. The other interesting thing on flag here is that the meme stocks are really going crazy. I mean, look at Coinbase, GameStop; those have all just gone absolutely berserk this morning. So those could be, you don't know if that's a margin call type activity, but generally it's kind of a forced. Those are forced allocations. Is usually how I look at it.
I see. I see. Yeah, yeah. We've been, cause I read your write up this morning. I was like, man, I was expecting the same thing and seeing this 50-point rally off of the day's lows like it's nothing. It caught us off guard. So, we caught the first part and the last half of the move, but that middle meat there, holding on to that was hard.
Yeah, we have 3950 into 395 in Spider, so that's about 39, call it 60 in the S&P. So that was kind of a resistance band, and the market stopped there on that first leg. You got that resistance right, but then whatever that
What up, YouTube? Yeah, I had to mute you. Sorry. We had Brent with Spot Gamma on the line with us, and he was talking. I couldn't get the voice over to YouTube. Oh, man. And new high of the day. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Almost. Almost. Tied the new high of the day. So I'm looking at, right now, I am looking at the ES book map. I'm going to see over at TLT. I'm going to see if they clear the map right before the auction. That was not recorded. No. No. You'll be charged every day this month. Every day of the month. So if you sign up today, you'll be charged again on August 20th on the website. Yeah. Yeah, so volume is dropping off here. We're kind of hanging out at 39.75. We've got obviously the bond auction in 2, and ES is got a lot of liquidity just above us. So the hero indicator has a big spike in calls, and then the puts aren't really moving. So a big spike in the orange line that we talked about. Which indicates call buying. Do we get a double top off 39.74 after 2 days of incredible bull action? We bounced off of 38.24 and went to 39.74, which is 150 points in 2 sessions. So yeah, it is 12 o'clock. I am starving, man. I haven't had lunch since yesterday. In fact, yesterday I came in way under my calories, so I'm more ravenous than usual. I need some lunch. And plus, I'm reading my new book this morning, so. Do I never eat? Nah, I mean, I'm not a big breakfast guy, you know, so. But yeah. Yeah, we're going to be doing a scalp call today. We're going to be doing it, let's plan. If you are tier 2, let's do a scalp call for roughly, I don't know, 1,400. So we'll do an hour scalp call, and then we'll come on and do an hour of, we'll do hour on power hour, normal power hour. What is the new book? It's called The Love of Pizza. I'm sorry, The Joy of Pizza. The Joy of Pizza. I'm trying to perfect my pizza recipe for the uni. I posted it in the food channel. The food channel. So, Jabroni confirmed, yeah. All right. So we have a lot to digest. A lot of analysis after today, especially after like Brent kind of confirming what I was believing, that we have got this big rally going into next week. And then tonight, of course, in 4 hours, we'll know, 4 or 5 hours, we'll know about Tesla. And then, of course, next week starts the onslaught of earnings reports and FOMC, and we'll go from there. Then he said, August is traditionally a bloodfest, and we're propping up the market here in July. People are getting super bullish. Bottom is in. Buy calls. Buy long, and then maybe we get smoked in August. But he did say, conversely, if we can close over 4,000, he'll feel more comfortable going long, because that's when the big caller buyers start to come in. It'll take out a considerable level of a call level, an options level at 4,000. If we could take that out, that the market may start going long and bring us higher. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? I haven't had anything. Nothing. So. Is there a reason I watch ES and trade SPX? ES is the big dog. ES is the big dog. So when you're talking about the big market, when you're talking about spoofing, when you're talking about institutional levels, you're going to be talking about an ES. That's where ES is going to place their bets. And then, of course, options, you're talking about SPX. So when I want to trade the true movement of the market, which is going to be ES and NASDAQ, and then I will follow along with the indices and the ETFs and the regular stocks, a part of that, which is SPX, SPY, the tech stocks and everything else. Yeah, that 39.75 is gone. And you give me some I love me some Chick-fil-A. Haven't had it in a long time though. Correct. Yeah, remember there's no volume on SPX. The volume indicator you see on TradingView for SPX is just a calculation. There's no volume on SPX. The volume is true on ES, correct. All right, y'all. I'm going to go grab some food. We'll come back on here in about 2 hours. Let's see. Yeah, in 2 hours, we're going to have our Tier 2 scalp call. And then on Power Hour, we'll come back on for the normal Power Hour call. Hopefully, we have some more volatility going into the day. Hopefully, we don't chop here for the rest of the day. We've got liquidity at 80, 82, 87, and then, of course, 95 and 4,000. But that's that 5-wide level at 4,000, which is considerable. We'll see from there. No, I'm not going to leave that one open. So y'all take it easy. Have a good rest of the morning. Trade smart, position size, the whole shindig. You know what I'm talking about. I'll come back on if things pick up. Start pinging me like crazy if we see a larger move inbound. But I have got levels set, and I will see what happens. So I will see you all here in a couple hours. Y'all take it easy. I'm out.